This weekend, it's a tale of two big spenders in the Premier League, Chelsea and Bournemouth. We've spent money, have we, Tom?
Oh, big time, mate, big time. I love the cash now. I didn't 10 years ago. I love it now.
But money has been spent on a slightly different scale here on the South Coast compared to our Stamford Bridge counterparts. Both have got new managers and both have got quite a challenge on their hands in terms of moulding their team to play how they want. On Sunday, it's the Cherries versus the Blues at Dean Court. Welcome to the big match preview. This is Back in the Net. My name's Sam.
My name's Tom.
And we're an AFC Bournemouth fan channel, but we also do a lot of Premier League content as well, namely the Premier League show. Tom might tell you a little bit about that later on. However, there are a couple of things that you can do, whether you're a Chelsea fan or a Bournemouth fan.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, give us a like if you like it. It really helps with the algorithm and all that good stuff. And then, I think there should be a rule that if you've watched at least one of our videos, then click subscribe. Come on, that's fair. That's all we're asking. So do that. We'd really appreciate it.
We're usually a little bit disjointed after international breaks. So hopefully all that kind of stuff has been put behind us and we can put in a good performance against Pochettino's men. It's not going to be easy. The Sky cameras are going to be there to cover it live on Sky. It's a 2 p.m. kickoff. Before we kick off, let's take a look at the league table. There we go. Chelsea are just ahead of us at the moment. They are on 4 points, 12th position. Bournemouth have got half the amount of points. We're just on the edge of that dotted line. But you know what? We've not got a win to our name. Hopefully, we will get it this weekend. We didn't the last time we played them at Dean Court. Do you remember it, Tom?
Yeah, I do.
Let's remind you. Go on then.
Yeah, it was easy, man. You know, story of our season, that sort of goal, isn't it?
Hello. This is it. This is goal. Saw it coming. Another set piece. And it was a wickedly whipped in ball, and it didn't need much of a touch really.
Oh no!
And another goal created by Raheem Sterling, just tucked away. It's fair to say this is the party of their season in Bournemouth. Look, they're singing "How shit must you be? We're winning away." And to be fair, we've been pretty poor the last 10 minutes or so, but they're staying up.
Super Frank.
Super Frank Lampard.
We've said this before, we'll come on to different bits, but we've kind of been known as a Chelsea's bogey team. I think we got Mourinho the sack and maybe Sarri as well. I think we beat Conte's Chelsea. But then Lampard, who couldn't buy a win, beat us, and Graham Potter beat us as well. So we didn't have a good time against Chelsea last season, but in fairness to us, we'd virtually got the job done then. All we had, I think we were virtually safe at that point. So it was a game that both teams didn't really need, but they probably needed it. Lampard certainly did.
We managed to beat him twice in the December when he was Everton manager, of course. But then it's so we've had 3 consecutive Chelsea games against 3 different managers, I suppose, haven't we? Because obviously it was Potter the first time, like you say. Then Lampard,
and now we've got Poch, so it will be the third.
So this is going to be the third. Yeah.
But we've played. You think we've got a relatively, in terms of history, small sample size of us in the Premier League, and certainly playing Chelsea. Yeah. So many managers, which just I mentioned there, didn't I? Sarri, Conte, Mourinho, Potter, Lampard. There's probably one I'm forgetting, but now Poch. So you never really. Sure, we'll come on to it, mate, but you never really know what Chelsea are going to be playing against, to be honest with you.
No, exactly. And you never really know what weather conditions are happening this weekend. If you think Bournemouth, you think of the beach, the sun, the sand, the sea. We're going to be having everything at the weekend. 19 degrees. It's going to be warm, so bring your sunscreen. The sun's going to be out, dark cloud. Bring your brolly. There's going to be a good bit of wind. Bring your wind coat or whatever. There's going to be thunder as well. So yeah, we're going to have everything.
I want a little gripe here. These weathermen or women, they just literally cover themselves, don't they?
Yeah.
There might be a bit of rain, could be sun, bit of wind maybe. Just cover themselves. It's a pathetic job.
Yeah.
Out.
Get them out. Get them out.
They're in,
right.
what was that programme? Room 101?
Yeah.
Weather people.
Right. So if you are new to the channel, there's reasons why you might want to subscribe. You've probably done it already, right? Because we told you to. Yeah, thank you. Oh, you haven't? You haven't? John
Give him some
from
more.
Chelsea. Click the button. Thank you. Appreciate that. So after the game, Tom, we've got, fan cams?
Fan cams out after the game, which Chelsea fans, if you're at the game, more than welcome to come over. And just so that instant reaction. And then obviously the matchday vlog will come out.
The vlog, hopefully it'll be a good one.
Yeah, it should be a good one. And then we'll do the second look.
Yeah,
we'll
Monday
come out
night.
on Monday, and that's where, we do that reaction after the game, but we can dissect it a little bit more. And then as we previously mentioned, the Premier League show will be on Tuesday, where we'll talk about this game, I'm sure, but also cover everything that happened over the weekend in the Premier League.
Did you enjoy the international break?
I didn't mind it. I think
alright.
we spoke about, obviously I love club football, but I think we spoke about from a Bournemouth perspective, it was probably good. We've had some injured players, it was probably quite handy for Andoni to have I know a lot of them went away, but just have a little bit of a break. And also, from an England point of view, yes, it was disappointing against Ukraine, but it was a good point. I think Italy went and drew with Macedonia the next day. So
It was a good chance to see AFCB players in action in both those games, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's true. I thought Zabani was absolutely brilliant against England, against Harry Kane in particular. Didn't get a sniff. Ukraine were good. And then in the Scotland game, they were awful, but Christie come on and they had a spell. And it was just when Christie come on, and they were even mentioning it on commentary, going, Christie's livened them up here, which I know they're doing well, Scotland. I can't get my head around how he doesn't get in that team. No. You've got to find a way to get Christie in. He's a top player. But yeah, it was positive. Even ex-Cherries got run out as well, Ramsdale, Callum Wilson. And I think Brooksy got another goal for Wales.
Yeah, and you know what?
Brilliant.
I've seen that against Latvia, I think it was. What a
goal.
well-taken finish that was.
Do you know who got the assist? Harry Wilson.
Yes,
Yeah,
I do. I did
ex-Cherries.
see it, yeah.
Kiefer Moore went, which I couldn't get my head around because he couldn't play.
Yeah.
Because he was suspended. So they literally called him up just to play a friendly, which was a bit weird. Mepham got good minutes. Kirkes got an assist and he looked really lively. I think it was Zabani that got the most minutes out of everyone because he played 2 full games.
Yeah.
Because he's obviously crucial to him. But yeah, a few minutes. I think Hamed Traore played a little bit for Ivory Coast. Semenyo, I think, got an assist for Ghana. So yeah, some good minutes for a lot of players, mate. And the most positive thing is it doesn't look like anyone got injured.
Yeah.
And hopefully someone's bound to have broke down in training. But we look like we're in a decent spot now. But equally, I'm sure Chelsea obviously would have had plenty away, but key players like Sterling didn't even go. So they'd have had a good time to recover. So yeah, it was a good international break, and I think we kind of needed it.
That name gives me PTSD, mate. Raheem Sterling.
I believe,
Oh my God.
if anyone knows officially, but there was a time, don't know if it's changed, I can't imagine it would have, that he scored the most goals against Bournemouth than any player ever.
Harry Kane would be up there.
Harry Kane was
Sterling's
second.
got to, and you know
I think
what?
Lee Hughes was third. Do you remember Lee Hughes?
Yeah, Notts County.
Yeah, but Sterling got a hat trick for maybe Liverpool. It might have been City, and he got a couple of braces for Liverpool. We had a spell where we got him in the cups. He always scores against us, which is a concern.
And in that last game against us, I've got a feeling because they took the lead, Conor Gallagher, as we saw from the footage, and then
Vigna.
Vigna, worldie even equaliser. But then in the second half, they scored again. I think Sterling was instrumental in that.
Yes.
Just direct running. He didn't score himself, I don't think.
No,
But
João Felix.
That's
Yeah.
right. And well, if we keep him quiet, I would feel like we've got a chance.
Well, he's been playing off that kind of more right side for him. So Kirkes has got to be. We've seen the good side of Kirkes as he really loves the tackle, loves to get into him. But we saw against Brentford, if he gets too tight, can get turned. So it's going to be an interesting one.
Going to be an interesting one. Let's see Chelsea's results so far then. Obviously started off with that really entertaining 1-1.
It was a good game.
Against Liverpool. And then, 3-1 loss at the London Stadium to West Ham. 3-0 over Luton. You sort of expect that, I suppose. But then in the last game, mate,
Yeah, that was a concern for them.
the stats said they dominated,
Yeah.
but Nottingham Forest they have got more goals in that goals tally, and that's all that matters.
And if you're Nottingham Forest, that's the kind of stats you think you've got the best chance of winning. It sounds mad, but if we've said this before on previous things with ourselves, and Forest are not too dissimilar. But if you would, without looking at the scoreline, looked at the end of the game and Forest and Chelsea were 50-50 in possession, you're thinking Chelsea are going to win that game. But when you see the possession on all in Chelsea, you think, oh, have Forest done the perfect game plan here? And just frustrated them and then caught them on one counter-attack, which is exactly what they did. Chelsea fell into the trap. I felt they'd done exactly the same against West Ham. I know there's more goals in the game, but they missed a penalty and Chelsea were all over West Ham, and then they just got caught, and that's how we're going to try and play it. Hopefully we might have to soak it up a little bit. We like to go toe-to-toe with Andoni, but I do wonder if we can allow them to have the ball a little bit more. There's no point of us having all the ball against them. Let them have it, frustrate them, because you can hurt them on the break. You can hurt Chelsea on the break. Yeah. But yeah, I think the Liverpool one, they played well. Yeah, it was the Forest one that will concern them, but this is the first time we're coming up against a team this season that have lost a football match. So it's a good chance for us. We've only played unbeaten teams so far. And listen, not everyone's losing to West Ham. No one's not lost to... Oh, there was one team that stopped West Ham, and it was your Cherries. So watch out, Chelsea. Watch
out. So we know all about Mauricio Pochettino, Southampton manager for quite a while, and then went to Spurs as well. So between Spurs and Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain. Yeah. So he's got quite a CV brewing, but at Chelsea, I really feel like he has got his work cut out, hasn't he? He took a year out before got the Chelsea job, didn't he?
Yeah.
But bringing all these players together, and boy, have they signed a number of players. This is probably his toughest challenge yet, really. And there's also expectation on him, the pressure of trying to get it right as soon as possible. They've spent all this money. They want Champions League football. I've got a feeling they will come good as the season goes on, but it's not going to be an easy job. But some of these names that they've signed, mate, and the money that they've spent.
Oh yeah, the money they've spent is obviously astronomical. Saicedo being the main one. Obviously got Nkunku, who they haven't seen yet, injured. Nicholas Jackson, that Chelsea fans might not be aware. We had him in January. When I say failed his medical, if you remember last season, we were in a relegation scrap. We needed him there and then, and we decided at the time that because he's going to be out for a few months, it wasn't worth a gamble. Not knowing if we'd be in the Premier League. And obviously in hindsight, we probably wish we signed him. I think even our owner said that. But you managed to come in and nick him off us. But they've signed so many players that we haven't got long enough to talk about every single one. But it's a weird one for me. Obviously I'm not privy to know as much as Chelsea fans do about their football club, etc. But what Bowley's doing, it's more the fact that the calibre of manager they've brought in since he's been there are managers that I think are coaches that are happy to work with kind of young players and get the best out of players that he's already got. So Potter done that at Brighton. Yeah. Even Lampard, for a short spell at Chelsea, when he come in and they had the embargo, was his best ever season as a manager, really. Yeah, and then Pochettino is known to build players up. Yeah. You see what he's done at Tottenham with not that many funds and make players better. So
he's just been given
just giving loads of players, and you think it was going to take him so much time, and we saw with Potter, they didn't give him the time. So are they going to give Poch it? I think they might, just because he's got a little bit more of a CV as a manager than Potter, but it remains to be seen. It's no surprise that they've been inconsistent at the start of the season, because the amount of what's he supposed to do. And then what's weird is all them players, they're still missing some key players of injury in terms of Nkunku and Reece James in particular, but they'll be fine, they'll come good. And from a Bournemouth perspective, it's kind of like, oh, Chelsea, you can beat them. Forest have just done it away from home. But then I always look at a team and go, they've got to click at some point. There's too much quality out there.
But, and that's the thing.
And they have let a lot go as well.
And when we played them at Dean Court, they were on an awful run. And we are a team that seem to end runs one way or another. Sometimes good, but often in a bad way as well. And that was one of the wins that Frank Lampard actually did get as his last spell. Like you said, though, they have let a lot go. And for all the players that they've signed, a lot of them have left as well.
For money as well.
Like Kai Havertz. Yeah. Is Kai Havertz a £65 million player?
I don't think anyone believes that at the moment. Mason Mount, is he over 50 million? I'm not sure either. I think they got over 20 for Kovacic, didn't they? Went to City. But even like Koulibaly went to Saudi, they got a lot of money for. So, and Mendy as well, the keeper. So yeah, they managed to get rid of what they were considering deadwood, really. And they got a decent amount of money for them players. And then players that you'd say, we're kind of done there, like your Aubameyangs and Ziyech and Kante, they were kind of finished. So they did have to bring in a lot because they got rid of so many. I mean, the list of how much they got rid of is mental as well. But yeah, it's just going to take, it's just like a completely new new beast now, isn't it? They've just ripped that one thing, gone to another. So you can't expect them.
It's got to be a transitional season.
It's got to be.
Surely.
I think the only thing that may help them a little bit is there's no Europe. So Poch will have them weeks where everyone's playing in Europe and in the Cups where he can kind of do things on the training pitch, which he'll love. And I'm still not going to say that Poch there's something about Pochettino. I saw what he did at Tottenham and Southampton as well. And I think there's a proper coach there. And if they give him the time, I think he'll get it right. But I'm happy that we're playing them early, put it that way. It might not transpire that way, but I think you want to play Chelsea now before they get into it.
Even Lewis Hall, the fullback,
Newcastle.
He went to Newcastle on loan, but there was a stage where he was being linked with a permanent move, and they were talking like 15, 16 million.
I think there might be some sort
barely played.
Yeah, I think there might be some sort of. I'm not sure exactly if it's an option or an obligation to buy, but it looks like it's one that could turn into a fee for him. But that's what I mean with Chelsea, and they do loan out so many players and youngsters that they end up getting like some decent cash for. So yeah, it's a weird system. It's quite unique to the Premier League with Todd Bowley, but you know, two heavyweight American owners going at it, mate. It should be a good one.
How would you feel if you were a Chelsea fan and you see all this money coming through, but the results aren't necessarily there? Would you? I mean, you have to have patience. You have to.
You do. I think the Potter thing would have been weird because on one hand you would have been going, you've got to give this guy time, got to give this time, but on the other hand you go, he's never proven it at a big club. Maybe we can't afford to give him the time. With Poch, I think you've just got to.
Yeah.
You've got to give him the season at least and hope that he gets you some sort of... But it's mad that I've seen a few things. We've done it ourselves. Quite a few kind of YouTube channels and media outlets done like their Premier League predictions, start the season, league table. And then after 4 games, they're kind of changing it because the transfer window's now closed. Right, let's alter a little bit. Everyone put Chelsea higher and they're already moving them down. And that's only 4 games because suddenly you think, is it more of a mess than we realised? Not sure. Well, only time will tell, mate. But if I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm a little bit confused, but probably excited that every week you're going, oh, there's a new player every week.
Let's check out our head-to-head record against them. And, you know, compared to many of the big 6 or top 6, it's actually
for us, it's
all right. Look, you can see, 4 wins there. You've got a draw as well. That was that tasty 2-2 at Dean Court. That was one of the last games that we had before COVID. I mean, there are a few losses in there as well, but like you say, they would probably regard us as their bogey side, although recently with their 2 wins, I mean, so frustrating. I mean, that match at Stamford Bridge on Boxing Day, I mean, in hindsight, as Bournemouth fans, we're looking back at that thinking Chelsea were awful, yet we still somehow lost a game of football. Yeah,
and I remember, I was probably just chatting to you, mate, after the game, because everyone was under this perception of, oh yeah, we huffed and puffed, but it is Chelsea away. And I remember saying, us having a chat after the game and going, I know it's Chelsea and I know we're Bournemouth, but they're really not at it. We were awful. We just let them play against us. I felt that was a good time to go at Chelsea when it was Potter's Chelsea. The Lampard one at the end of the season, I can let go a little bit because we were on the beach, if you like, and it didn't matter too much. But yeah, like you say, the head-to-head, they've never beaten us as much as we've beaten them in a single game. 4-0. Remember that 4-0 at home? Oh. And Brooksy had a hell of a game against them, so hopefully he can haunt them again. But yeah, we had a 3-0 away. That was one of my favourite away games.
If you take away those 2 League Cup games, it actually doesn't look so bad because obviously those were the sort of latter stages of the League Cup. I remember that one where Dan Gosling scored and we thought we'd taken it to extra time.
And Hazard, I think maybe.
Yeah, and then they scored
straight up the other end. Yeah. But we've had some good games with them. Yeah, and I've gone into so many games against Chelsea thinking, oh god, just take a point if we can, and then we went and rolled them over. So you never know. But I think they're going to be privy to that now. So certainly the Chelsea fan base, they've known that you can't just rock up to Bournemouth and take 3 points. We've given them some good games. One
of their strengths, of course, is the abundance of pace that they've got in attack. So whether this is going to mould what you think for your team selection, we don't know. Of course, the running power of Jackson, Raheem Sterling, etc. And we saw in our last game that we struggled with that. If we make mistakes like that one-off from Kirkes, I felt so sorry for him, but just mistimed a challenge. And then Buemo went through to net an equaliser for Brentford, but we can't afford to be making those errors against Chelsea. Maybe, like you say, Antonio Iraola might be wanting to deploy a slightly different style against them because they will hurt us.
Yeah, maybe. And and we've got to be a little bit more. If you go too gun-ho pressing that midfield that they've got, I think you'll get hurt because they're quality players on the ball. No disrespect to Brentford, but they've got more quality in the middle of the pitch. So I think of Enzo Fernandez, for example, who is, I know he costs a lot of money, but he's different class on the ball. His technical ability. If we go flying in, trying to press him like Christian, he'll just take a touch and he'll set him away on an attack. So I think we might have to be a little bit more intelligent in terms of sitting off, let them have it, because if they're in front of us knocking it side to side, we're absolutely fine.
Yeah.
A bit like we did against Liverpool for large spells, actually. We kind of let them have it because we knew we could hurt them on the break.
Yeah.
Let their full-backs, could be wing-backs in this sense, bomb on, because that's where we can hurt them the other end. And Andoni will be well aware of that. You know, he'll know that more than myself. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I do think we can give them a game. I really, really do. But the problem I've got is we just said Sterling always scores against us. We know Nicholas Jackson's going to score.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, he was basically through the door with us. So there's 2 goals. So we do need to get a couple. But Dom's just signed a new deal. Dom will be ready against.
Well, exactly. You just took the words right out of my mouth. It's been a busy news week, really. Well, especially for Dom Solanke himself. Look, he's had a baby. It's been his birthday, and now new contract as well, keeping him at Vitality till 2027. And of course, he's one of the names in the 25-man squad that's been named during the week. Actually, tell you what. There you go. There's the list of players that you can see on screen. Some of the middle names, mate. Some of the middle names.
So, I mean, I don't want to just pick them out of the arse. I mean, some of the middle names are an absolute disgrace. Tyler, I mean, what's that? Is that Sean or Sean or
Shaun?
Shaun? You got I tell you what, respect Lewis John Cook. That's what I'm talking about. Just get it done. The funny thing is, you've got all this. I mean, we've all. I knew about Kiefer's. Roberto Francisco, brilliant, love that. What was the one that I thought was? Marcos Nicolas Senesi Barrett. But the one I thought, Steve Hensel mentioned it in our chat, I thought Hamid Traore, they called him Junior, but it's not even down. It's not even down, no. Dominic Ayadeli?
Emiliano Marcondes Camargo Hansen.
He is handsome.
Bop.
And he's in the squad. I'm happy with Emiliano. Super.
Darren Edward Andrew Randolph. That's dear. Oh, yeah. After scoring so many goals past him.
But then you've got like a nice right. You brought someone in over from playing, and he's playing in La Liga. He's playing in the Bundesliga. He's played in Serie A. He's got a lot about him. Justin Dean Cliver is so standard. Great lister now. I love it. Philip Anyawu.
Jim.
Quite nice name.
Jim Fravola. If you're watching, right, I've got a little tip for you. Right. Look, Dominic Ayodele Solanke Mitchell, a double-barreled surname. I didn't know about this, right? You know, given that we're trying to monetize as much as possible, why don't we call him Solanke Mitchell? Extra money from the names on the back of the shirt. I'm thinking. Employ me.
Always thinking.
I tell you what, I'm always thinking. Solanke Mitchell. Just imagine that.
Yeah, I mean, I've never knew that. Did you?
Dom Solanke Mitchell.
Yeah, it wouldn't work for chance, would it? Yeah. But did you ever know that? Because I never knew that.
No,
but there's a few of them in there that I kind of thought, oh yeah, I remember that was his.
And also, we had as we often do, we often, like on our away days, we don't film so much of our away days on the vlogs, by the way. Right. I remember one of our vlogs, I was watching it the other day, I think it was Peterborough away or something. There was 10 minutes of the vlog just of us in the car. There was like 4 minutes of the
Peterborough away for you, or like a Tuesday night or whatever it was.
We always have our little trivia games, don't we, when we go up?
Yeah.
And we had one the other night, like Food 11.
Oh yeah.
And trying to get as many like ex-AFC ball players or even footballers.
Declan Rice.
Yeah, Declan Rice. Steve Grapes from the mid-70s.
Yeah,
he was only on loan, I think from Norwich maybe, I can't remember. Right. He played about 8 games for us. That would have been a good one.
That would have been a good one.
But also we've done players that have got the same initial, like Benji Bushel.
Oh yeah, that's really hard.
Michel Menetrier. But also Norberto Neto. But no one ever calls him Norberto.
No, they don't. And it's like with Radu, I don't know if it's Enoch Radu or Andre Radu. Yeah. Because we haven't seen him. I don't know which one he actually considers as, because some people have said one, but yeah, I think, yes, it's weird. I just think, don't you think that there'd be more respect on Kiefer Moore's name if he was called Keith, if everyone referred to him as Roberto Francisco? Because everyone would be like, I tell you what, he's got something about this boy. Because he's called Kiefer Moore, you go, is he ready? Is he ready? It's mad, isn't it? I always say it. I was thinking the other day, because of the England-Scotland game, I was going, would Man U fans rate Scott McTominay more if he was called Scott Gonzalez?
Of course they would.
They would, wouldn't they?
100%.
They would, I'm telling you. Anyway.
So, look, we've got a massive squad. We've also got, of course, plenty of academy players there as well. I wonder which players are going to be involved on Sunday. Andoni Iraola had his presser, and the news is at the bottom of the screen, round about Now, there it is, sliding along. And look, in the last game, mate, it was so good to see some players returning, including Marcus Tavernier running down the wing. Why don't we do that song?
I thought we done that harmonised that quite well.
Marcus Tavernier. Hear the ball. But
him and Brooksy coming on changing the game was really good.
But we don't sing that. I mean,
we do occasionally.
There was a selection of fans that sang it in an away game, but Marcus Tavernier.
We mix it up now and again. We are brilliant at our songs.
Neto.
Radu. But yeah,
he was good when he came.
Great to have him back. Yeah, great to have him back, and that was kind of what I was alluding to with the international break. That he's come back and now he's had a full week. Because obviously he's not on international duty, where he's been able to get himself ready. I think he could be involved. Obviously Sinistera as well. He had a couple of sub appearances for Colombia.
Yeah, that's right. So whether any of these will be in the 11, we will find out. But Sinistera is good to know. Yeah, Tyler Adams has come back. Come back.
It's only.
Should we just sing for this preview show? Should we just sing it?
Just baby come back?
Yeah. But we need Alex Scott in the fold, Tyler Adams.
I think
they're not going to be fit in time.
The only ones, I don't know about Adams maybe making the squad. I think the only ones that are definite is Alex Scott and Ryan Fredericks. They're definitely not available. I'm not sure the situation of Dunga Watara, because I thought he might be out for a while.
But then he was named for.
He went but he never played.
No.
But why did they? Maybe they just wanted him in there, or because he's one of their better players, just to be around. I don't know. But anyway, difficult to see. But we're starting to get him back slowly. Which is positive, mate. So and I'm looking forward to. I think Sinistera is absolutely fine. I think you just got to remember that we've signed him. He's gone straight to Colombia and come back. So he's probably Andy's probably not really spoke to him much. I wouldn't expect him to start, but he hopefully will be an option.
Yeah, the Chelsea team news as well. Well, they had 10 players out injured going into this game. A few of them might be available for it.
Yeah.
Of course, many of them, involved in internationals as well.
Not Sterling though, that was a surprise. I'm surprised he didn't get called up. I mean, his best form he's had for ages. But we'll have to remain to be seen whether that'll be a good thing or a bad thing for us. Because I think you all go, because you obviously always think on that kind of worst case scenario, and I'm going, Sterling's had a fresh week, just chilling out, ready for the Bournemouth game. But if he'd gone to England and scored 2, we go, look, he's on form. So depends how you look at it.
But when does Southgate pick players based on form? Anyway, remember right.
Cam Phillips. He's flying, mate. He's played about 4 minutes for the last year, so he started. But it's all right. We beat the Jocks. That's all good.
Who's your Chelsea player to maybe keep our eye on? It can be whoever you want, Tom.
Yeah, I think it'd be too obvious to go Sterling because he's just been around for so long. So we're gonna have to say Jackson. I think just because of, as I mentioned earlier, the fact that he was so close to being a Bournemouth player. And then, obviously had that little run at the end of the season for Villarreal and Chelsea took the punt. And I watched him against Luton, I think it was on telly, it might be Monday night. And it was his first goal and his only goal for the club. But it's more, I think they do like what they're seeing from him in terms of, it's almost a bit like how we talk about Dom. The way I've seen Chelsea talk about Jackson is he does so much work. He's a menace, causes problems, but he doesn't look like he's going to score enough goals for them. Which is kind of what's always been the question over Dom, isn't it? So I think we've got to watch him picking up little pockets, causing problems. He won't just stand up there and be on the last man. So he'll try and link play up with whoever they're playing behind him and obviously try to set Sterling free. Yeah. So got to watch Jackson, which we all will be anyway, because like you say, he was so close to being a Bournemouth player.
Do you want to know who the referee is?
Couldn't give a...
Well, I'll tell you what, he's a total coot. It's David Coote.
Is that a ref? No, I have heard his name.
David Coote. He had us for 3 games last season.
Little cootie pie.
Away.
Oh.
Manchester City. West Ham.
Oh. What an awful game. And
awful and bad refereeing decisions.
And
Leicester City.
Oh, take it. We've got the win. Was that the most recent out of them for as well?
Yeah.
So he's back now. He's back. He's a good boy. Cutie pie. And I'm looking forward to seeing him in there. I hope he has a great game.
Let's do teams. Come on then. Let's go.
Right,
tough, Tom has got you. Well, I was about to say, mate. I mean, you don't know who's back, who's not back.
Tough.
But let's go for this. Let's give it a go. Bournemouth 4-2-3-1 as ever.
Yeah, I've got to get one bang on this season because I was so close to the last game. It was Jane Lantley left. Killed me. Neto will remain in goal, of course. Back 4, we're obviously going to have Aarons at right back. I think Zabani, even though he's played 2 games, should be absolutely fine to play centre half. And Kirkes will obviously be left back.
I agree with that.
I think Kelly's going to start.
Yeah.
It's a ball chow.
Yeah, but you know what? It's the pace, isn't it?
It's the pace factor. He's obviously he wasn't involved because they said about that. But if he suddenly doesn't play again, then the questions start coming back to Andoni about he nearly left. He wasn't in the squad at Brentford. And I just think that Senesi didn't play, by the way, but he's been away with Argentina. He's had a full week with Lloyd. And as you say, because of the pace thing, and I think that Senesi didn't play well at Swansea or Brentford. I think Kelly might start the game.
I really, really, really want Lloyd Kelly to have an absolute blinder.
Yes, I think, and
come on, just really want a blinder.
I think if he starts the game, I think the fans will get right behind him. Let's give him that confidence. But like I say, it could easily be Senesi. But I'm going to take a punt there and go Kelly starts.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with the normal in midfield. I'm going to go recently because Cook I think will play instead of Rothwell with Billing, and then Christie will be a little bit more advanced. Yeah. I'm going to stick with Semenyo on that right-hand side. I'm going to make a change on the left.
Right.
I don't think Kluivert starts. I don't think Sinisterra's going to be quite ready. I think Tavernier might start the game. I think he might start the game. I think you've got to remember, they obviously were going to their team and they play wing-backs most of the time. But Sterling plays more off that right side. They've got a young lad in Gusto who will bomb on. And I think Tavernier, he has played wing-back in his career. I think he might help Kirkes a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually.
Yeah, more than Kluivert did and more than potentially Sinisterra would. There's an option of maybe moving Semenyo over there and playing Brooks, but I don't think he'll do that. So I'm going to go with Tav to start, and he'll come off once he's ran his race and you've got good options. And then obviously Dom leaving the line through the middle. So that's the punt I'm going to take there, mate. It's a couple of changes.
Okay, I have a Chelsea 3-4-2-1. Here it is.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed match for Chelsea.
I mean, good luck with this, mate.
Yeah,
good luck with this.
I'm going to make a change in there just to try and be different because it'd be easy to just name the team that they've played most of the time. So I'm going to tactically tweak it up a little bit. So Sanchez will definitely stay in goal. That back three, I think, will remain the same, which is Dizazi, Thiago Silva, and Levi Colwell, who obviously went to England but didn't get any minutes, which I was surprised about because he looks like a good player. Gusto and Chilwell have kind of been playing as the wing backs, if you like, and Chilwell bombs on a lot. And then they've kind of been going with Fernandez, Caicedo, which I'm going to stick with as kind of set. They've actually been playing Fernandez a little bit further forward and bringing Conor Gallagher in. I think they're going to revert back to playing Fernandez and Caicedo kind of together, and going a little bit more attacking and giving Cole Palmer his first start.
Right.
With Raheem Sterling just behind Nicholas Jackson. So I think, they've been playing Gallagher, but I think against Bournemouth, they might look at it and go, this could be a chance to get someone a little bit more creative in there, in Cole Palmer, and try and hurt Bournemouth a little bit more. So that's how I think they're going to go. And he's obviously a good player, come from City for a reason. I think they've had some time with him, and I think Poch will get him in.
You know what I really want to know?
What do you really want to know?
Everyone's predictions.
Ooh.
Including you, who doesn't usually put anything in the comments, including you.
You're like a genius when you get it right.
Yeah, I really want to be. And look, last time we gave away some Panini sticks. There's no giveaway this time, but just show us some love. Comment, like if you haven't. But we're really interested to see what your predictions are. And look, there are some people like you, Chris Hubble.
Oh.
Like you, Liam Humby, you're always optimistic. Let's just. I mean, I love your optimism, but let's just go with what you actually think will happen rather than what you want to happen, right? Come on, let's see. And now I want to see the predictions. Now I want to see.
Go on, you give me one.
All right.
What are you going for?
3-0 Bournemouth. No, I think. Draw. I think it will be a draw, but I think there'll be goals. I think it'll be 2-2.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Was
That's
it?
annoying. Yeah, I was going to go for a back-to-back Desmond. We just drew 2-2. But yeah, exactly the same as what you were saying. I think that
there'll be goals.
There will be goals.
There'll be goals.
I think Jackson Sterling the scorer, so there's there too. And then a nice little slanky brace. I'm going to go for a 2-2 as well, mate. I mean, we could nick it. They could easily win comfortably. They're a good side. So it's really on the day, and it's going to be a really tough one to predict. I think we're hoping we get something just because of our fixtures. I mean, Chelsea fans, if you're still watching, there's our fixture. You're the first team we're playing that have lost a game so far, and then after you we go to Brighton and then we play Arsenal. So our fixtures are pretty horrible. So we're looking at this one because of you're not quite ready yet in terms of the way you're setting out to play, that we can hopefully nick something. But listen, it's still Chelsea. They've still got world-class footballers, so it's going to be tough. But if there can be some goals, I think there will be. I think we can hurt them. If we're a little bit more switched on at the bat, we could, you know. I mean, we definitely can't beat Chelsea, but could we? Could we? That's what I'm saying.
I think we could. Look, thank you for watching once again. Do all those good things, because after the game Sunday, around about 5 p.m, your YouTube feed will be full of fans. That was alliteration when I didn't even mean to do it, but yeah, there's going to be some good opinion after a win, lose, or draw with Tiggs on the fan cams. Looking forward to seeing those. And then the matchday vlog, of course, will be coming out. Audio podcast, second look, all those good things as well.
We're back,
following soon after that. I can't wait. Proper football returns. Tom, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Pleasure as always, mate. Looking forward to it. Let's get back into Premier League action and let's get that first win.
And you know what I'm looking forward to singing at Dean Court for the first time?
Let's He
drinks paella.
No, you keep doing this. You eat paella and you drink Estrella. All right?
Sorry.
See you later. Go on, Tom.